So this is a great station to set up for those beginning golfers and those looking to work on their posture and their routine. So let's get started here with the things on the ground, or the sticks on the ground here. So we have 2 orange poles on the ground showing alignment and ball position. And then we have 2 yellow or green sticks on the ground showing where we're going to swing the club. And I'll go over that in a little bit. So let's first start off with our grip and make sure that we have our grip on there correctly. And as we do that, we want to make sure that the club face is nice and straight. So we're going to reference the leading edge, the bottom part of the club. Now this is a training club, so it's a little skewed, but I think you'll get the idea. So you want to make sure that the leading edge is nice and straight up in the air. So we don't want the club to be pointed down to the ground too much or up in the air. Now if that's the case, when you put your hands on there, don't just twist your hands to compensate. Take the club and twist it in your hands until it gets straight and readjust your grip, okay? Next thing you're going to do is put your feet together and squish the middle orange pole for the ball position. And you're going to hold the club at about a 45-degree angle from your sternum. Now you're going to see my arms are not perfectly straight out in front of me. They have a slight bend, staying relaxed. But our goal here is, as we bend down into our posture, is to try to keep the relationship between the club and the sternum somewhat similar. And it's going to be a little wider as we go down, but we don't want it to extend or come closer. We want to try to keep the tilt in our hips and the club kind of in the same ratio here together. So as we go down, we're going to keep everything moving together and allow the arms to fall. So you can see I didn't break my knees yet. I'm just tilting over, allowing my arms to fall. Now I'm going to break the knees to reduce the tension in my hamstring, and then take a step to the left and a step to the right so that this center pole is in the middle of my stance, okay? So I'm going to show you from the side here, from this way. So we start like this. We tilt over from our hips, let the club fall, break our knees a little bit, take a step to the left and a step to the right, okay? As you can see from that angle, my arms are somewhat hanging down from my shoulders, so they're not too far out in front of me, or they're not over here. So it's really important when you do this exercise and you bend from your hips, you can see the ratio doesn't change. And what I mean by that is the distance between this doesn't change. So as I go down, if I extend away, you can see my arms get further and my arms come off my body. Or if I come down and get scrunched up, it changes. So we want to try to keep this relationship the same as we fall down. Again, it might extend a little bit or widen a little bit, that's okay. And we want to make sure that our arms just fall right underneath their shoulders or a little bit out in front. Okay? So we go right through that routine one more time. Down, break your knees, take a step, and a step, ball in the middle. Now you're looking and seeing my club is nowhere near the ball. If this happens, whether you're practicing without a ball or just a tee or a ball, don't just reach out in front for the ball. Make sure that you scoot everything up as a unit to the ball or the tee or whatever you're trying to swing and hit, okay? We don't want to change that the distance between our arms and the club, or our body and the club. So again, from this way, if I go here, get set up, and then try to reach, you can see how my posture starts to change. Everything starts to change, okay? So once we get that down and you feel comfortable, we want to make sure that the weight is right underneath our shoelaces, not in the balls of our feet or too much in the heel. And you can get the pressure by starting here, rocking to your toes a little bit, rocking to your heels, and then finding the weight right underneath your shoelaces. Okay, once that's all set and ready to go and you feel pretty comfortable, pretty balanced, and pretty athletic here, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a half swing. So this is where the other 2 poles come into play. We're going to swing back, try to match the club, turn the arms and the club together. You can see I turned everything together and matched the shaft with the club on the ground, or the shaft on the ground. And then we're going to go through, pivot through, and try to match the shaft on the club with the one on the ground. So again, it would look like this. Turn, turn. Now you can see I looked at what I was doing at first, but now when I'm going to take a real practice swing, I'm going to keep my eyes focused down where the ball would be. Okay? And when you do that a couple of times, and you feel comfortable that you're getting the ground right in the middle of your feet where the ball would be, then step up to the ball and try to hit one. Just take note on how you're finishing, and this is a process where what you can do is evaluate. So after you make these swings, take the time to evaluate what happened. Did I finish with my club matching the one on the ground? Did I pivot through? Is the weight on my lead foot? This is a great time to evaluate, because if anything did happen, you're going to see it in the finish of your swing. So if you didn't follow through, you're going to look like this. Your arms are going to be scrunched together, the weight's going to be back, and your back foot's going to be on the ground. So it's a great time to just kind of discover what you did and evaluate what was going on. So again, back and through. So again, this is a great little exercise and station that you can practice to get better at your fundamentals and keep improving at a rapid pace.